Gentleman's recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I want to recognize and thank the gentleman from Texas for his leadership on this issue, as well as his leadership as chairman of the Subcommittee on Cybersecurity Infrastructure Protection. As co-founder and co-chair of the Congressional Cybersecurity Caucus, which I've led for a decade with my good friend Chairman McCall, I firmly believe that cybersecurity is the national and economic security issue of the 21st century. I believe it is therefore incumbent upon us as members of Congress to enable the government to take steps needed to protect our systems and to provide some course correction when necessary. This bill does both, authorizing continuous diagnostic mitigation, or CDM, program, and require a strategy from the Department of Homeland Security to guide its future growth. CDM represents a core component of the Department's efforts to better secure the .gov domain. In particular, by giving agencies a better view into their networks, systems, and data, it helps provide an understanding of cybersecurity status in real time. It also feeds back data to DHS so that cybersecurity specialists at the National Protection and Programs Directorate can better assist agencies in closing vulnerabilities and responding to incidents. Conceptually, CDM makes a lot of sense, but it has not been without challenges in implementation. Originally designed with a phased model that focused on incorporating new sets of tools at each milestone, it has fallen behind schedule, and many agencies have expressed skepticism about the program's utility. I believe in CDM, and I believe that the congressional direction provided by Mr. Radcliffe's bill will help dispel some of these doubts. I also believe that the strategy can further help refocus the program on present and future needs of federal networks. So I'm pleased that during the committee consideration, my amendment requiring a re-examination of the phasing plan was adopted. While I appreciate the thought underlying the original phasing approach, I believe that we make more progress if the planned Phase 3 and Phase 4 are conducted in parallel rather than serially. So this is a good bill, and I urge my colleagues to support its passage. However, I must take this opportunity to mention this bill's major omission. It does not address the incentive structure at other agencies to actually adopt CDM offerings. During hearings and roundtables on the program, we often heard from government stakeholders that internal dynamics at DHS's sister agencies were actually the biggest obstacles to the program's success. Additionally,
recognized.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. This is, to be sure, outside the purview of the Committee on Homeland Security, and I believe the bill before us will materially improve the program. One other thing, I urge my colleagues to consider the wisdom of having so many committees involved with cybersecurity jurisdiction, often to the detriment of making real progress. Right now, there are some 30 committees and subcommittees that have jurisdiction over cyber, and very difficult to get things done. So I also urge my colleagues to look at the Executive Cyberspace Coordination Act, which would put a Senate-confirmed director of cybersecurity at the White House to help better coordinate interagency processes. Dealing with these jurisdictional problems would substantially improve our cybersecurity posture and would allow CDM to fully live up to its potential. With that, I'd like to again thank Ranking Member Thompson and Richmond and Chairman McCall and Radcliffe for continuing their focus on cybersecurity. I strongly urge support for H.R. 6443. I commend Chairman Radcliffe for introducing the bill, and I certainly hope all members will support it and DHS's ongoing cybersecurity efforts. With that, I thank the gentleman. I yield back the balance.